Hi everybody, welcome to episode 14 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. We are sitting on the launch pad with our Apollo, our sort of Apollo-like, maybe a little bit spacecraft, which has everything we need, we believe, to land and return from the moon. We were able to buy some science notes from previous experiments to get larger rockets, which are much more capable, and this thing is pretty straightforward. We have a lander in here that we'll be taking with us. We have a return vehicle there. I'm really excited for this. So without further ado, we will get this launch underway. Back off the throttle to 50%. I know in testing that that was a little bit better for us actually. So 3, 2, 1, to the moon with us. We will go ahead, disable that torque wheel, start letting our rocket tip a little bit over. I'm going to turn off SAS and let the rocket stabilize on its own. There we go. Now we're going to let the concept of the gravity turn do what gravity turns do. Skipper's running at full throttle now, and we'll just let the rocket naturally fly itself over. Horizontally here. Things are looking good. I like this trajectory. We're tipping over a little steeper than I would generally like, but I think we're going to be okay. So I will come talk to you guys when this whole craft has reached orbit. Hang tight for that. Okay, we know this maneuver is going to be... we know this engine's more powerful than this one by a lot. So, I'm going to start at 50% throttle at 23 seconds. And then when we switch over to the main engine, or to the transfer engine, %50 throttle. Watch as this one drains its fuel tank. Stage it away and full throttle with this guy, which is 1 minute and 20 seconds. Alright, looking at this map, our burn's pretty well done. We're getting set for this ascending node fix here. We're just going to warp there. I'm not even going to bother with that maneuver node. I know exactly what needs to happen. And we're at the descending node, so we're going to thrust orbit normal to get this more where we want it. Basically, get rid of the difference in this descending node. There we go. 0.1 is fine. I'm going to burn retrograde. Just try and bring this periapsis down. Yeah, that'll bring the periapsis down for sure. 25 kilometers is probably good. We'll fix the rest when we reach the moon, so warp to here, hang tight. Okay, here we are in the moon's sphere of influence. We have plenty of missions around here that we can accomplish by changing our plane. Have a nice integrated integrals thing to do there, a couple of temperature readings. If we did this sort of orbit, if we did that kind of orbit, we could get so many readings done. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go orbit orbit normal. I'm actually going to raise my angle of attack on the moon considerably. Something about like that. I am going to face orbit anti-radial and bring this periapsis down to about 20 kilometers or 15 kilometers. So 17, 16, 15-ish. 16 is good. And then we're going to do our last thing, which is plan circularization. Like so. Good enough for me. Whoa. Autopilot's fighting me. Face the maneuver. And I'll go ahead and warp ourselves in. Okay, and we're a minute away from this maneuver, so let's just get ourselves lined up here. This is on the light side of the moon. This is our orbital insertion at T-minus 15 seconds. Then we can dump this fuel stage in orbit. Full throttle. We have some kind of orbit. 3, 2, 1, 0. Main engine cutoff. Let's get the last of these residuals done. Nearly 16 by 16. I think that's pretty darn good. Okay. Now we are set to land this thing. But, I kind of want to... Let's see, where do we have... Did we put a flag down somewhere where we landed last time? Did I not put a flag down? Okay, good. I want to make sure I don't land in the same place. What I think I'm probably going to do is do a plane change here. I wonder how much... Oops, wrong way. Absolutely wrong thing to do. Add a maneuver. It's like a minute worth of thrust to do that. So the reason I have an inclined orbit like this is really so that I can just fast forward time until these things are pretty much lined up where I want them to be. So now here we are getting ourselves lined up for these particular missions. As we come around. Now, any plane change I do will have a much better effect. Like, I don't need to do much of a plane change. Let's target the moon. So we have a contract for Teal's Overlook. Below 11,000 meters, Teal's Overlook. Okay, let's get this thing set up for orbital operations. What we need to do is get an EVA. Turn the lights on. Let go. Actually, you don't need to EVA. You can just click on the door and say transfer crew, but, you know, it's kind of fun to EVA to do this. Grab. And board. He's now in the lander can. Now, well, we have this stage to continue to use. It's got plenty of fuel. So I say we face retrograde. We'll control from here. And I am thinking that we bring our periapsis down to about 10 kilometers, which is underneath the height of all these. Maybe 9 kilometers. No, 10 kilometers is good. And then at the periapsis we do the same thing. So we're just fast forwarding to this periapsis. Okay, face retrograde for me, please. And we're just bringing the apoapsis down. Like so. Now we should have no problem scanning these things in the area. Below, below, below. And if we need to do a little bit of plane change work, we can. Oh, we're below 10 kilometers now. So I'm going to pause until we get over here to do our readings. Okay, we are coming up rapidly on our first reading site. Quick save that. We are entering the area and they want a temperature scan. So, right there. Log the temperature. That part of this contract is done. Now we'll see if we 5 face orbit normal. Trying to face orbit normal again. Oh, for some reason it stopped showing me these nodes. Oh well. I'm facing orbit normal. I can thrust up this way to change our flight angle to even more extreme. Just to make sure we hit this target. I think that should be fine. Our apoapsis is really high though, so I want to change that. Okay, before we lose the site, we'll go ahead and get this temperature scan done. Log temperature. Reset. Another little chunk of change. Facing retrograde, bringing down our apoapsis. Need to face radial and fix this. And then retrograde. And bring this down to under 10. Okay. This is the only other temperature scan we need, so I'll fast forward to there. Hang tight. Okay, we have entered sector QJ, whatever that is. So we're going to get a crew report here, right? Oh, crew report. What is it they want here? Oh, above. Yeah, that's okay. We'll get that one in a bit. Okay, so, once again, we need to change our plane to get this thing. That's going to be good enough. Let's warp over here. We are entering sector SBB. Back to our craft, where our temperature gauge is. You can stop wiggling. Log the temperature. Reset that experiment. Perform temperature scans of the moon. This contract is complete. Giving us a nice little cash injection. And these guys need to be... Where is it? Above 10.8. So let's get to our... okay, let's go prograde. We'll raise our apoapsis to... I don't know, 12 kilometers. This thing's so wobbly. There we go, 12.5 kilometers. And then warp over to the apoapsis. Once there, we'll raise our periapsis to 12 kilometers. Eight, 10, 11, 12. Okay, now we just warp around here. Hang tight. Okay, this says we're in the sector now. So we're going to go ahead and get this crew report. We know that completes that part of it. And we're going to face retrograde and get ourselves basically set up for landing. Because we'll be entering that other zone soon enough. So I'm actually going to go ahead and land right there. We'll just fire up these engines. I'm going to land on this nice spot. Right around there. What's our current altitude? It's too high. Okay, that stage is done. I just realized something. I brought this with me. Dang it. Okay. Well, we don't have a whole lot of time to dick around for this. What's our altitude? Altitude's too high. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to make a new stage. Okay, so that stage is gone. Now I need just to make absolutely certain that this engine enables. Quick save that. No liquid fuel. Oh, it's that same problem we had before. That's not cross-feeding in there. Well, crap. We are on a full abort mode right now. Transfer to here. We don't have any transmission gear. Okay, so that goes off. That goes off. X. Toggle torque. Something about like this. Full throttle. As we get out of the way of that thing. That thing is so going to crash. We still need to burn so that we can get out of here. Has that thing hit the ground yet? Doesn't. Nope, there it goes. My failed moon landing. Because of fuel crossfeed problems again. That's alright. We nearly got this contract complete. I can just swing around and get this thing done. And that would at least be a contract that's finished. So how about we do that? Face this maneuver. It's only 4 seconds worth of thrust. Get over there. 50% throttle to get through this maneuver. Okay. Now I guess I'm going to fast forward till we get to here and get that done. Okay, it occurred to me that I need, since I'm on the other side of the planet from this thing, I actually need to lower my altitude because this is below 10,800. So we're going to go ahead and face retrograde. Get our periapsis such that this should be below that altitude. And then fast forward over. Okay, we are skirting low. There, we've entered the area. Let's get this crew report done. Reset that. This contract is completed. Prograde. And get ourselves back up out of here. I mean, this is a low flight. We could crash into one of these mountains and it would suck. Alright, it was a shame we didn't get that all done as far as landing and stuff goes, but we know that craft is probably capable of doing it with just a little bit of modification. I know of 2 actually to get that done. We can tackle that in episode 15. I'm going to go ahead and get ourselves out of here. Hopefully. Okay, I'm just going to raise our periapsis to at least 25 kilometers. It's going to take hardly anything to do it. Actually, 15 is going to be fine. Now we plan ourselves a return burn. Whoa. just get an escape trajectory. That is incorrect. We need to go this way. Something like that. Let's get this periapsis highlighted. Minimize that as best we can. I think I'll do that, and then worry about the rest once I'm out of the moon's sphere of... Well, maybe. One and done's the way to go. Oberth effect and all that. Whoa. I'm having issues. If I change my angle, it doesn't change my burn time hardly at all. Oh, that's the way to do it. It looks like something about like that is the way to go. 30-second burn. And 37 minutes. Okay, we're facing the maneuver node. We're going to fire this up at T-minus 15. Actually, T-minus 16 is good. Map. Burns 0.55, which means we have 48 seconds of fuel or so. This little guy was able to do a lot. Don't need to gimbal. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Just finish up the rest of these residual here. And I'll talk to you guys at Moon Escape. Okay, here we are. We've left the moon behind us, and we have gotten ourselves to the apoapsis. So we're just going to go ahead and do the last little adjustment to get this set up for re-entry trajectory. Set this to about 30 to 32 kilometers. About like that. And everything is standard procedure re-entry, so I'll catch you guys on splashdown. All right, here we are, safe and sound. Let's recover this vessel. We really didn't get, well, we got a little science for recovering a vessel return from a suborbital flight. We didn't get much back in the way of funds, but we did complete some contracts. So that gave us a fair bit of funds and some science. Valentina didn't gain any more experience or anything. I'm going to go in here and clean up my mess. Well, I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. This failed attempt at the moon. Didn't quite work out. We know the craft is nearly capable. It just needs a small modification to actually get that done. And maybe in the meantime I'll actually fly this this mission in the next episode or something. So anyway, stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. And here comes our circularization burn. Oh man.